Hey, what's up guys? Ryan here from E39 Source and welcome back to the channel. We're doing a video on car number 2 today. If you missed the last couple of videos, please do go check them out. Here at E39 Source, we've got a shop, we've got tools, we've got an engine here out of Nate's car, an update coming on that. That's the one we drove across the country back in October. But car number 1, the Sterling, if you saw the last video, there are still some parts available, but that is what's left of it. It is a chassis back there, waiting for someone to come and cut the sheet metal up in the back for some parts for an M5 wagon. But car number 2, let's get into it. Let's hit the basics first. So if you see anything on this car that you want, send me an email. Don't leave me a comment. That's not how I'm going to sell stuff. Send me an email, ryan@e39source.com. I'm going to put that email down in the description below this video. Most everything on this car is available. If it isn't, I'll tell you throughout the remainder of the video. So let's get started. So this one is a 2001 E39 M5 in carbon black metallic. It is not repairable. You guys freaked out last time on that Sterling car saying it's so cheap and easy to fix. No, it's not. Not in the United States. It doesn't make sense, and that's not what I'm doing here. This car, same deal. Bad accident in the front. That frame rail, we have already, just for the sake of wanting to remove this engine eventually, pushed it back where it's supposed to be several inches. Thank you, Nate. That was at much more of an aggressively bent angle, even yesterday. So is it repairable? Yeah, for $15,000 to $20,000, and that's more than the car's worth, so not gonna happen. Anyways, this is an interesting car in the way that it is a one-owner vehicle. I never thought that I would be buying a one-owner car to part out. It's unfortunate, obviously, that we're parting it out, but it's pretty damn cool that it's a one-owner car. Now, there's some goodies on this one. Obviously the one-owner fact is nice. Thing number 2, this is not the original S62. I do not know exactly what happened to it. I'm still waiting on paperwork. If I find out exactly how many miles are on this engine, when it was done, where it was done, I will put a clip in right here. Hey, I got some more information for you guys on that engine now. We're not at the shop. We're going to be looking at my S62 instead, but hey, close enough, right? So these guys here, these are some service records from BMW Encinitas. We'll take a look here. I've kind of highlighted some of the high points. So right up at the top, that is the carbon car, BZ98005. You can check that clip in the beginning where I showed the VIN. And then the service date here is September of 2005, 9/25 of 05, at mileage 52,484. So the current mileage as it sits right now up at the shop is 111,048 minus 52,484 comes out to 58,564 miles have elapsed since this service was completed. So the complaint was customer states complete engine and drivetrain failure, no acceleration, and clunking noises. Well, that's not good. So we come down here. You can kind of read some more of that if you wish. You can see that they removed the transmission, upper and lower oil pans, oil pump, and rod caps for an inspection. They found out that there was at least one spun rod bearing. So right there, engine was replaced. We'll move on to the next page and see kind of some more information on that. Replaced engine. It was a one-time goodwill split 3 ways between the customer, the BMW dealership, and BMW of North America. So that engine was replaced a total of 58,564 miles ago in September of 2005. But we'll get a look at the VIN and the production date here. You guys know how to Google the VIN and decode to see what options the car has. It's an early 2001 and late 2000 build. It was made on the 2nd day of November 2000, the year 2000. And there's that VIN. The last 7 are BZ98005, so you can do some decoding on that. A brief overview, it's a full leather car, and this one actually has full leather, unlike Sterling. It's got a nice upper leather dashboard, as well as the lower. The door panels I have removed because I've stripped the mirrors and the shadow line trim already. Obviously those parts are no longer available. The door panels are over there. They are available. We'll get a closer look at them shortly. We have lower B pillars. Everything that's supposed to be full leather is here. Obviously an 01 has the Alcantara headliner. That panel that is missing right there has sold and has been removed. And unfortunately the material on the sunroof slider here is completely gone. So that's probably worth nothing. The visors are also gone. Everything else you see here is available. The headliner itself appears to be in great shape. There's some minor peeling here where the visor would cover and hold that up. Should you want to, you can remove that and re-glue it. But it's clean. This is a car that's never been smoked in. It doesn't smell like anything but maybe some leather reek inside. The steering wheel and airbag. This airbag is virtually brand new. It was done under the Takata recall. I have a guy that I'm pretty confident is going to come and buy that within a couple days. So consider that off the table. There are some used M5 floor mats in here, not in new condition, but not terrible either. We have the M5 door sills all the way around. Unfortunately, some minor damage here in this rubber component. We'll come around back, get a look at this sill. I know everybody asks about the door sills. We've got a crack here too. I don't know what it is with the rubber. This has nearly been a California car for life. It did spend a couple of years in South Carolina, but it is not a car that has been subjected to you know, Midwest or East Coast winters, which is nice. All the windows work up and down. These rear doors are actually pretty neat in the way that these seals here have been replaced within the last year, and it's a very expensive thing to have done. It takes forever, it costs a fortune, it's very difficult to do. They are in new condition. So I plan on leaving this window and the seal in here. The door itself this one's in fantastic shape. I don't notice any dings or heavy scratches. It is carbon black, so it's slightly swirled. You guys know this is a tough color to keep looking as nice as it can, although a simple buff and polish would probably do it wonders. That is a chip there, but that door would sell with that in it. So should you want to put on chrome or shadow line trim again and replace the glass, I could include the glass if you would want it. That's maybe even a cheaper way of getting these seals done than having them done yourself. We'll keep moving around. I'll get to the wheels shortly. These are factory facelift taillights, the Hellas. They work, they're in great shape. This is a park distance control car, which is neat. So we've got 4 good parking sensors in the back, as far as I can tell. The front was completely demolished. You know, the hood doesn't even look that bad, but obviously the bumper came apart in pieces. The chassis, the frame core support here was mangled. Both fenders were trashed. So the front sensors did not make it. Maybe one of them did. I think I pulled it out. But they're just black, not painted carbon. And it looks like these rear ones, the inners are supposed to be carbon, but if they were, they have since faded to that, but they do function. Original trunk, no accidents on this car, no notable accidents on this car, minus obviously what's happened in the front. We have a fairly new Bosch battery back here that I would consider selling, somebody that wanted it. It is an M audio car. So we have the 2 10-inch subwoofers. These are the earlier ones without the little covers. It's the same subwoofer, the same sound performance. These things sound great. They're super easy to retrofit to any DSP equipped car. So if you have the Nokia box, the big carpet up here on the ceiling of your trunk lid, this would be a pretty easy retrofit to get much, much better bass performance out of the car. You'll also see right there, this car has the 60/40 split folding rear seat option, which is neat. So there could be some hardware pieces there if you guys need it. But the DSP amp, whatever this is, a phone unit, I don't know. I'll try to zoom in on the part number. I've never had this in my car. I've never played with it, and honestly, I don't know what it is. So if you do and you want it, it is right there. And we've got, you know, trunk carpeting. I haven't cleaned any of this. It's just dirty and dusty back here, but it would clean up and look quite good. This is the BMW Cargo Net. I have a couple people interested in this. I'm guessing it won't last long. You can try me, shoot me an email. If we still got it, I will let you know. This one appears to be in excellent condition and not too saggy. It's still nice and tight. And we'll take a look back here for fun. There's a front license plate bracket on the floor. There is a PDC module right there with those part numbers. And this car actually has the LED lights. I don't know if they're the ECS tuning ones or what brand they are, but every light in here has been replaced with an LED. So, hey, that could be a cheap way to get that kit. We'll look at the trunk tools. He even has this thing back from the dealer way back when. Since it's an 01, they gave you this recommending 5W30. Kind of cool. These are the tools that exist. There's one spanner. There is the wrench, the tow hook, the reversible screwdriver, and the pliers, channel locks. And because I'm surprised how many people ask, we do have that thing. The struts appear to have been replaced quite recently. It's a pretty tight, like it even lifts itself up from there, and it'll hold itself all the way down to about there. No hands. They are not genuine BMW or original equipment supplier struts. They are made by, what is that, FEQ. Never heard of them. Honestly, I've never heard of them, but they seem to perform even better than the factory ones, maybe? Being a California car without window tint, unfortunately, it has a quite faded rear deck. The rear headrests are pretty hard, and that one over there has unfortunately torn open. So there are some negatives, but I do believe it was garaged. The paint itself is in pretty good condition. There's no clear fail up on the roof or any of that. I mean, it doesn't look great. It could certainly be polished and look better, but it isn't peeling. And then the obligatory gas cap, we can check over here and see that it truly is a California car. Let's take a look in the right rear door. This door has obviously a new seal as well, although unfortunately somebody tapped this one in a parking lot. The previous owner told me at a Walmart, and there is a minor ding. It is through the paint. Certainly an easy repair, but this probably would not be a bolt-on door for you, unfortunately. We open it up, split fold seats, we talked about that. That's just a window switch on the floor I was using yesterday. The leather in here is harder than most cars. Like Nate's over here has the same interior, but it's been a Chicago car. They just don't deal with the same heat and sunshine that we have out here in California. So the leather is a little bit harder. Doesn't feel brand new or anything. Although I'd be willing to bet that a couple conditionings would bring it back a little bit. Looks like we do have the ski bag in here too. So that's another factory option that's pretty cool. That's always the nicest leather on the car inside the armrest there. To the front. All the seats work in every direction, every motor works, there's no seat twist, the headrests move, all of that. I checked functionality, all the window regulators work, the sunroof tilts and goes all the way back, doesn't make any gruesome noises. As far as I could tell, all the M audio worked. I only had the radio and whatnot in here for a short period of time, but everything seemed to be good. We move inside. It's got the wood trim. I'm not sure which one. You can probably decode that from the VIN that I showed you before. It is cracked here in the center console, unfortunately, and then you'll notice that the shifter is missing its shift pattern. It does still illuminate. It just seems that the M logo and shift pattern has come off, which is bizarre. Button panel wise, we've got the heated seats, parking sensors, DSC, sports, and passenger heated seat. So we've got that panel. No sunshades. Both of these cars, ironically, both California cars have not come with sunshades, which is a little bit weird. Cup holders, believe it or not, both function. What are the odds? We've had two parts cards and the cup holders have been good on both, and I still have the other ones, so I have two good sets of cup holders. The center vent, crack, just the one. It's a shame though. Otherwise, it's a nice center vent. The rear view mirror, excellent condition, no bubble, and it does auto dim. Up here we have the HomeLink panel with sunroof switch and microphone. I don't know that there's a microphone in there. There probably is, but that panel is in fantastic condition. We'll try to get a better look at the headliner from this angle. There's no stains in it. Doesn't smell like anything weird. There was the one little loose spot over there, but it's in great shape. And I still have the other one from the Sterling car. I'm surprised at the lack of demand for it. They're nice Alcantara headliners, and I guess people just don't go after them like they used to. Look at the front passenger floor mat. Again, I haven't vacuumed anything. My guess is it's missing the backing. It is indeed. But it looks pretty decent, actually. It'd be a lot cheaper than the new ones. And are there rear mats? No. There's one rear mat. The car even had the factory phone system. That's probably what the module is back there in the trunk. Now he has removed the tray and the phone, so that's what's left of the center console. I don't know if you can install the regular piece, like this, the tray that my car has. You probably could, and then you'd have a full center console. So when we got this car, it came with genuine BMW style 65s that were in fantastic shape. I had a local guy that wanted them off the Sterling car. He was a little bit too late. So I put him first in line, and he was able to pick up the wheels that were from this car. The wheels that are on here now are E38 style 37s. These aren't the E39 540 M-Tech 37s. They're from an E38. The hubs were bored out to fit these larger E39 hubs. I don't remember the size, but they bolt right onto an E39 now, no problem. They have been chromed, which you either hate it or love it. It's actually a really good job, and these things appear to be in excellent condition. I don't see, okay, maybe there's like a little scrape right there from mounting. These are nice wheels though. If you like chrome 37s, these are a great set. Now I do not own these wheels, but he has told me that he's interested in hearing some estimates. So if you're interested in purchasing these wheels, they are staggered setup. They're 265/35 ZR18. These are Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires with, the rears don't have a ton of tread. They're not at the rear bars. but they aren't new. And if I'm right, the fronts, yeah, the fronts are a lot nicer. They're, I would say, less than half worn. I didn't see any nails or any repairs or anything in them. The fronts, so what did we say, 265 in the back, 235 in the front, obviously an 18-inch wheel. So if you're interested and want to make a bit of an offer, use that email, Ryan at E39source.com, send me an email, make the subject line Style 37 offer, and I'll take a couple of those offers, get back to him, and see if he is interested in doing a sale on these. I know he wants to sell them, I just don't know what he wants for them. Another look up front here, nothing on the engine itself was damaged, short of the fan and fan clutch were pushed back. The water pump probably wasn't happy about it, but it does continue to function. The bearing in there itself sounds fine. It's still gurgling a little bit of coolant. The pulley moves straight. Pulley on the water pump, or the power steering pump down here, did take a little bit of damage from the belts rubbing against it in the few moments that it did run after the accident. Did not lose any oil, did not lose any coolant. In fact, the radiator was still full. I had to drain it. So this engine, there's no reason for me to think that any damage happened to the engine. It sounds fine, it fires right up. I have driven it a little bit, obviously with no power steering system and belts, I can't drive it real far, but it makes a ton of power, sounds great, pulls hard. Transmission feels fantastic too. I already have a line on this transmission, this one's sold, he's given me a deposit. I do still have the Sterling transmission, which honestly felt equally as good, even with 40,000 more miles on it. So I have two differentials for E39 M5s, 3.15 limited slip, one from each car, and then the transmission from Sterling is still available. For somebody local that wants a windshield, this windshield was put in days before the accident. It was not damaged. It's a Security glass windshield with a new seal that would probably be destroyed during removal, but the windshield itself would certainly be salvageable. I'm not going to let it run long, but I will start it up to show you guys that it does start and run and sound pretty good, minus the usual Vanos noise and the occasional lifter tick. It's been sitting around, and when they don't get warm, the lifters like to tick. Drive it for a few minutes, they shut up. It's fine, completely normal. Yep, there's a little bit of clatter there. A little bit of lifter noise. Just this car hasn't been driven now in about 3 months. And it has a completely stock exhaust system from the headers back to the 111,000 mile cats to our resonator, all the way back to the stock, I believe, uncut mufflers. And we'll take a peek at the mileage here because I know people will ask. We are right at 111,048 miles on the chassis. It's tricky to see in there and a little bit rusty because we washed the car yesterday. It's just surface rust. But these appear to be nearly new front brake rotors. That makes both M5s, both wrecked cars that we've gotten, have nearly new front brake rotors on them. So if you're interested in those, shoot me an email. The same can be said here in the back. The hat looks very fresh. The rotor itself, minus the surface rust from yesterday's wash, has no lip or shows any damage. And because why not, let's take a look underneath while we can. Stock diffuser, carbon black. We move back, some spider webs. This car's been sitting around waiting for insurance and all that. Now indeed we can see it's a completely uncut factory exhaust. You usually, almost always see clamps here somewhere. This one still uncut. Now a black sway bar appears to be the factory one. Nothing special there. Factory mounts, factory sway bar, and no rust. We'll keep moving down. We see the resonator's wet, which means we've probably got kind of a leaky differential here at some point. In fact, that drain bolt looks a little leaky. Nothing that can't be repaired. Obviously, I'll work with you on that. We've got a dry fuel tank, which is great. Fuel tank straps look good. Chassis braces are a little dirty, a little rusty at the welds, which is unfortunately more common than not. Center exhaust brace, you know, that's how you could tell the car's never been in a winter. Those things through even 2 winters look like hell. That one's, I'm sure, original and mostly clean. Up here to factory cats, oxygen sensors, all of this looks good. I already sold the front belly pan. Believe it or not, that was not damaged. The Patrick Star, as I call it, this is the transmission belly pan here, is dry and in great shape, minus a crack over here. It doesn't really seem to affect its functionality, but it does have that crack in the plastic. this side. Oh yeah, this side kind of does too. But it is here, so that's a nice plus. We also have these side plastic trim panels here, and we're missing a screw, but the hole is there, and they appear to be completely intact. Same deal over here. A little dirty, but all here. And then this car has a fully factory suspension of control arm struts and springs all the way around. And lastly, let's talk about these parts that I've already removed, seeing that I sold the side mirrors. I do not have any side mirrors available or master window switch panels at this time. But these are the M-Audio front door speakers. You'll notice the different cones in there. These are a higher quality speaker than the DSP. As you can see there, they are an 8 ohm instead of a 4. I have one for each door. They do not bolt into DSP cars. There's different wiring. You could retrofit it. It would be a lot of work. I have the door handles. I also have the door handles from Sterling. They're chrome, seeing that both of these are luxury cars. I do not have any Titan door handles at this time. I have the front airbags. I have the rear door airbags. That was another factory option. So this car, I think it has every factory option minus the sunshades. So we've got all of those. These are the front door tweeters for the M-Audio. And then I told you I would show you the door panels, and we will do that right now. You can see they have the chrome rings around the door speaker that indicates the M-Audio. These are not in perfect condition. I would certainly say that they're restorable. There's just some scuffing in the leather. The gentleman that owned the car did have a kid, son I believe, that rode in the back, so a little bit of scuffing there as well. No obvious tears or huge gouges. If you know how to work with leather, I'm sure you could make these look a lot better. And then the wood here, I'm not sure if there's any cracking in the wood on the doors. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm looking right now. No, I don't think so. All of this stuff's good. And the door seals, the vapor barriers, were very well sealed, so there's no water damage to these leather cards either. These are all of the seals and interior, this piece of trim right here for the inside that I took off yesterday for the shadow line. All the seals and whatnot, I don't know if they have any demand. And then the side windows are just factory glass, no tint. Back in my car, back in the garage again now, and I noticed that when I filmed the video on the carbon car, all the navigation equipment had been removed. No 16:9 display, bezel, the BM53 radio, and the Mark III computer were all missing. I had a guy lined up to buy them. The circumstances changed, he didn't buy them, so they are still available. So this is it, guys. Send me an email. Feel free to leave comments, but for parts inquiries, please do use that email, Ryan at e39source.com. Feel free to ask me about anything. If it's sold, I'll let you know. If it's not, I'll let you know what I want for it. If you could include an address or zip code, an address is better, but at least a zip code if you're looking for shipping estimates as well. So I look forward to those emails, and we will talk in the next E39 Source video. Take care.